All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Sunday and it is a brand new week. It is 4th of July week for those of you in the States. And that means a lot of bank news, or not a lot of bank news, but bank holidays. So there might be some consolidations. There might not be a lot of movement going on, which is completely fine. Still opportunity to come in, maybe not hold the trade long term like swing, but you might be able to like do some scalping or slight intraday trading. Completely up to what's presented, So, but if those of you are going to be doing some stuff, don't try to force this. Just take some time off. If you want to take the week off, take the week off. It is what it is. It's the market's not going anywhere. So let me go over the peaks that we have set up for this week. Now it is Sunday. I don't usually do these on Sunday, but I'm going to start doing these twice a week now. Just because I think a lot of people are getting some value out of it and I want to get more eyeballs on it. So we're going to go over, I'm going to do Sundays and then sometimes during like middle of the week. So Sundays are going to be a definite every time. And then it's either going to be a Tuesday or Wednesday after this. It all depends on what I think the market's doing or what I think it's best. So let's get started. We have a bunch of peaks. I'm going to try to go through these as fast as possible and what I think is solid to take a trade on and what I don't think is, as in like, I'm just going to run through it. If it doesn't look good, I'm not going to touch it. I'll just be honest. So we're going to focus on the ones that look really good. So the first pair that we have set up for tonight is EURUSD. It's got a peak formation low, and it did break out of this like little channel right here. But at the same time, I think we still had this thing for an overall uptrend because it was in this overall big channel. So I think that pushed down, even though it's not as clean. It was a bounce off of this 500 moving average, off of the 50 moving average as well on the, what is this, the daily, and make sure that this is the right one too. Yeah. So it's bounced off the 50, but it's also in between all these EMAs. So it kind of makes it like, oh, which way do we want to do this? How is this going to look? And there is no hidden diversion. I mean, it kind of is from here to here. It's like right on the ball. It's not my favorite thing. So I'm going to say, let's be careful of EURUSD. It's definitely setting up for something. I think it might continue up that push just based on how it ended last week. Let me actually fix this and do this. And I can zoom. That would be considered a solid one, actually. And then I'll just do this zone too. So it's a whole zone, right? There's trend line zones. From here up. Actually, what I'll be able to do is this probably. Let me see if I can do this. Can I duplicate this? I can. Nice. That's awesome. Same thing as like Control Z. So this would be like that zone. And I think this is still I mean, it's all within it. So this would be considered a solid zone for that peak formation low. Took out the new low, broke the structure. So the pullback was imminent. It's just that it's stuck in the middle here, and it's not ultimately my favorite thing here. If I want to see this thing for a buy, it needs to break the structure, right? So the fact that it hasn't yet has me a little concerned because this could easily just go right back down again. This isn't a continuation pattern like that. Usually people think that, oh, because it's on, let me draw this up. Because it's got this, let me draw this up correctly so it's not confusing. We have trend lines here, right? And then this trend line here. More so this actually. And most people would think like, oh, this is a pattern for it to continue up, which I get that. But I think because of how close these EMAs are, like I always say, when the EMAs are tight, what you typically would expect doesn't usually happen. It kind of will throw some fuck shit where it'll go up and then this will tank right back down again. So I think that's what we're going to see tonight. I don't, especially with that hard push up, I think this thing's going to fill in the gaps and we're going to see it push down tonight. But that is my overall assumption here. So I'm going to say we're going back down for another touch and then we'll see what happens. Let me go over USD Chief. We're going to try to go through these as fast as possible. USD Chief. Okay. And this is a peak formation low, peak formation high. Okay. See, this one looks better for a peak formation high just right off the bat. Even though it's still technically respecting this trend line here. Control V. All right, so we have this zone here. And I think it wants to kind of push right back down again. That's a big push. Look how it ended last week. So I would expect it to push up a little bit. EMAs are tight. So we got some sort of consolidation going on, like a range here. Multiple EMA or multiple hits. Let me get rid of this so I can see a little bit better. Oops. I know there's a lot of trend lines here, but it's all visual here. So, right. So it's in a downwards channel that it just broke, respecting it to go right back up. So we could be seeing a couple hits where it goes up, all the way back up, back down again. We could see it go up, meet the resistance here, and then go back down to retest here, and then continue up, or break, retest, then drop, right? So we got a couple things, and right now it's not in a solid spot. So I'd say let's wait for it to move up tonight. I want to see how it plays out for tomorrow. I'm not going to touch this pair until I see a little bit more, but these are the lines. These are the support resistance lines, support resistant trend lines that we're looking at to see exactly what it can do. I'm going to copy this one and then paste that there. I can't believe I never did this before. I always thought like, hey, how do I do this? So we'll do that. Right. Zones, like it. All right, next pair. CAD Chief. This pair actually did exactly what I wanted it to do last week. It ended a little bit sooner before. Let me go and show you. I had this thing. I had two pendings in on it yesterday or last week, and it did exactly that. I had the pending set based off of this support zone box. Or technically resistance. Okay. So price shot down last week, broke structure. I think that's actually a change of character. Oh, my son's calling me. Wisdom's calling. And we had the change of character here. Clear as day. That's a shift in momentum. And then as soon as it did that, it dropped a little bit more. And on that same day, I had it pulling back to around this 61.8 retracement zone, the Fibonacci, because it matched with, it had hidden divergence here. So I have my pending here and a little bit higher up because of the resistance up here. So I placed it on the 61.8 and the 78.6. And last week it hit the 61.8 and then it hit the 78.6 the very next day. And then as you can see, it ended last week on a tanking it and went down towards a take profit. So right at recent support, it was perfect play. Now the matter is it going to continue? Because if you look at the daily, I mean, this thing is choppy as all hell. I think what we're going to see is maybe another push down to this 50 EMA. And that's actually what I want to see, because then we're going to be seeing some hidden divergence. Let me show you. Right. So we have, let me delete that. So we have price on an upwards motion, right? We have price going up. But now if we're taking this peak right here, because that was the last area that it was at before it decided to shoot up, that peak is right here. And currently at the moment, it is lower. This area is lower, right? It's lower than where it's going to be. So what we're going to expect is this to drop a little bit more, hit this zone, the 50 area, probably throw a shark fin over the next day or two, and then we're going to take this thing up for a buy up into that zone. So this could be a swing trade. You could hold this trade for days. Now, the only thing is how long is it going to take? Is it going to consolidate on this line? Is it going to take is it going to break right through? Maybe shoot past it a little bit because it's not always perfect, but in that essence, we are going to be looking for that direction for it to shoot up to that 200 EMA. So we just need to find out whether or not it's going to break these trend lines, right? You got a trend line here, you got a trend line there. Is it going to shoot and then break up and then take these out all within this week? I don't know. It could consolidate a little bit more just because of 4th of July. So, but I am still overall bullish on this. I don't care that this thing says peak formation high. If you want to take it for a sell, you can. I think it's more so it's got to drop maybe one more day. So if anything, look for a scalp, look for it to shoot up, stop on high, drop. Now let's go to GBPUSD. Do I have that set up already? I don't. So we're going to go to GBPUSD. All right. So this was a respected line for a minute. Broke it. Put it there. Actually, could have been drawn up a little bit better. It was garbage. About that. Okay. This one's kind of getting ready to do the same thing where it's just consolidating. But it is on an overall downtrend, right? So it is dropping, at least based on the 4-hour. Let me go to the daily. Daily showing uptrend. This was actually just overall pullback. So this is Sunday, Monday. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. It extended the push down. I think I actually wanted this pair to shoot up last week, but it extended the push down, hit an overall zone that it was targeting, and continue the push up or continue the push down. Now we just need to find a reversal zone for it to go up, and this could be that. This could be the area that we look for because this is actually hitting on the 200 EMA, and I'm based off of the last push here. This looks like the best predominant spot. So ready? So you got from here to there, it's going up, and then from this peak down, it's going down, right? So what that means is this is where I'm going to draw my Fibonacci. Damn it. I'm going to draw my fibs from here to the peak. And we're going to see what happened last week. And if you notice, it actually hit that 61.8 zone right in the middle of the 61.8, 786 zone the last 2 days of the week, 3 days technically, and consolidated and then shot up. You could have held this and your stop loss actually would have been right beneath it. So this was a swing, and this might be the continuation push that we want overall. So I'm going to say we're bullish, just to maintain the bigger picture, right? Because that 61.8 was based off of the daily and the 4-hour. So I'm thinking that we're going to stay bullish on this, expect continued pushes up. It just needs to break out of this area. It needs to break out of this channel because that's currently what it's in right now. So let's wait. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to push up. So we're just going to be patient. And it is 2-day peak formation low. So that does go right in line with the analysis I have. So let's just see what happens. Gold. You know what? I'm going to write this down too. I didn't write it down. Look at this. But B S GU. And then I'm going to say bullish on EU after it dropped. Oh, that's a sell. Okay. I'm going to say EU overall, right? Just a larger time frame. I'm liking it. All right, gold. Let's see what gold's up to. Do I have that up here? No, I don't. Okay. Pair's been ranging for a hot minute. Weeks since it did this big move here. All right. It's bouncing off that 200 EMA. Question is it do we have any hidden divergence here? Let me see if this pops up. Nope. That's the daily. Let me go to the weekly. Oh, this is setting up for some hidden divergence on the weekly. Meaning a continued push up. Let's see the monthly. Now, ultimately, it is bullish. I think this is just going to push down again towards that water on the monthly, which is the 200 on the weekly. Now it's just a matter of identifying that specific zone and where it wants to do. It's still in the channel, so it respected it. I'm thinking because of how it touched off of this Mayo that we might see it push up to this zone right here, about the 1950 area. I think that's what we're going to be seeing, right? Let me see. Right. Yeah, about 1940 to 1950 zone, because that is a retest after it broke through completely. So I would say that we're bullish. I mean, right here it's bouncing right off. Well, actually, hold on. So it's still just off of that time frame. It looked like it wanted to go up a little bit, but right now it's throwing some hidden divergence here. Right. So we have a lower high based off of this point, and the peaks right here are lower than on the TDI. So if I show you like from here up, right, it's going up, but here is going down, and look what it's doing. It's hitting right off. It's hitting right off that 50 EMA, and it's bouncing off the 800 EMA, which is two powerful resistance zones essentially for this thing to be qualified. And it's got hidden resistance. If it has this marked up, right? If I go to here down, it's right in the 78.6, 61.8 zone. Like everything looks solid for a sell, honestly, guys. That push up broke structure. I think we're gonna see it drop down tonight. Maybe not all the way down, but at least something to respect the overall direction that we have. Even in the 1 hour is showing that it's bearish. Look at that, 78.6 right off of that wick. So it's hitting a resistance zone. It looks so good. So yeah, I'm gonna say we're looking at sells tonight on gold. And that might actually be part of the reason why GU and EU, I'm still bullish on them, but I think they ultimately will also be bearish tonight. And then we'll see a bullish position pop up. So let's see how it plays out. I'm gonna say gold is gonna be bearish tonight. Now, based off of that, let me go on here. See if I can play it out correctly. Now, if it goes down, I want to see it drop down to recent structure. About we're at this level, right? And then put my stop loss there. Man, I'm placing a trade pending. So I'm gonna do this, go up there, do that. All right, let's see what happens. I think it's solid though. All right. GBPCAD. Let me see if GBPNZD is on this. It is. Substitute GBPCAD. EMAs are tight. Looks like it wants to keep pushing up. It's too tight of a consolidation. You see all this? It's stuck in a range. I don't really like it right now. So I'm gonna We're gonna hop off this pair. I think it's gonna do the same thing as GU though, so I think we're ultimately gonna see it drop and then go right back up, but it's stuck in a big range. There's highs, lows. It's too confusing. Let's go to AUDCAD. All right. And this is a peak formation low. Okay. This one looks a little bit clean. It's cleaner, I should say. Let's go to the 4-hour. Showing some hidden divergence here. But it's bouncing off that bigger time frame trend line here at the same time. So we got divergence. This bounced off of the Bollinger Band. It's regular divergence. That is, I think this is overall going to go up. Just how I got confluence of the trend line being hit. I got the Bollinger Band hitting it exactly where it needs to be. See the weekly. That's a weekly trend line actually. Bouncing right off of the interior of that Bollinger Band too. It's just a lot of confluences saying that this thing is going to be going up. And it's throwing, it looks like an inverted head and shoulders here, but it's not the divergence that I look for. Let me actually see something. I'm going to add something to my chart real quick, and then I'm going to take it off to see if there's any difference in the TDIs here. Yeah, there's no difference. So it's the same thing. It's showing the same divergence. Okay. Now I think if we want to see this thing for a buy, I mean, clearly it has to break this high. It needs to break that high, set a new high for it to pull back down, and then we can look for a buy potential on recent structure. But it hasn't done that yet. And right now it's setting up for some wild inverted or bearish hidden divergence, right? It's coming right back to the 50 EMA. You got price going way up on the RSI, and this shit is still going down. So it's a matter of what is the most opportune area to go. And since it has been dropping, right? It's been dropping for a minute. And just because it hit this trend line doesn't mean it's just going to go straight up. I mean, look what it did here, right? History repeats itself. It went down, hit it. Notice it didn't go all the way back up again. It retested that same zone. So just because it's hitting it doesn't mean it's going to go all the way back up. I think this thing is going to drop again. Overall, even though the higher time frame is saying it's a pullback or it's going to be reversal, I think it needs to shoot down one more time because this thing takes a while to play out, takes days. So I'm going to say we're overall bearish tonight to meet up with the what we're looking for on this pair. So bearish tonight, retest the certain low, and then kind of just take it from there. Let me go to this. I'm on my phone right now, so we'll do this to down to here. I like that zone. All right. It should be fun. See what happens. Now let's go to, I'm going to put AUDCAD down as bearish. AUDCAD. Okay. NZDCAD. Oh, it pops up perfectly. Yeah, so two peak formation low. This one, okay, so we had it for a signature trade here. I remember testing this. It was not the best. Let me actually, don't need this anymore. Yep, this continued. Now I think this might be the same thing as like AUDCAD. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so I had a sell on this the last week and it dropped down to here and it broke the low. But I had it in my mind going a little bit lower and I should have took out and it came back up and I broke even on it. But lesson learned. And I should have just taken it down to recent structure. That's the only thing, is not being greedy. So should have took it to recent structure and would have been a clear take profit. And then it threw a reversal. So we have divergence here, regular divergence that pushes to the upside. Let me see the Bollinger Bands. That was a perfect play. So it hit that third line, came up, dropped again. The Bollinger Bands evened out, and now it shot up, broke some. And most of you watching this probably lucky saying, but to me, I get it, right? So I can train you on that, but that's later. So if this is going to be a push up, clear as day, we need to see a push down, and I need to see it hit this 50 EMA. Once it hits that 50 EMA, it'll continue up, retest the structure, lines up with that whole 500, the 500 moving average, and then we look for our buy. So if we're going to be trading this for a buy, stop hunt, low rise. So right now I do see some hidden divergence on the 4-hour though, but it already broke through, and it's not like all the other times. Look, it through wicks, now it's like running through it, and I think it's going to continue up tonight. So we are going to be bullish on NZDCAD. NCAD overall is bullish, and we're going to capitalize on some profit. Okay. Stop hunt low, buy. Okay. Now let's go to NZDCHF. 2-day peak formation. There's so many peaks, dude. Holy shit. I have to go even faster now and just save all this time. So, NZDCHF. Peak formation low. Came up, pushed up, retested this trend line. That has been solid. Maybe not as solid. Oops. Copy, paste. Did it respect this zone? Dude, I love this copy paste shit. I should have been doing this for a minute. But it goes up into the zone, right? Look at it, went right up, almost touched it. Respected it here, there. Respected it, respected it. Respected. Perfect. So I think we're going to see it push up again. Same thing for NZDCAD. This one is hitting the 4-hour EMA as we speak, but it pushes past it a little bit every single time it does. And it's at a low, right? So they're not like the perfect recently dropped. So this could break. I don't want to just stick to it. My opinion is that this is going to rise up. Look, it even opened up how it did, retested that on the day open. So this, when the spread opened up, it started down and then continued. So that's what I think we're going to witness here is a continued shot up overall. Let me see if there's divergence. There is a little bit of divergence. The 1 hour is probably cleaner with that. Yeah, it's the same thing. And then we have, look at that. Widened out as it's going down, came up, tested that Bollinger Band, shot up. Now we're just seeing it lay out for the continuation. So we're going to be seeing this thing shoot up. And where to? You got supply and demand zones. I haven't even been talking about those, right? But you got a resistance zone up here. You have EMAs up here. And you have like all this is completely, it's pointing that one direction, and it's right between the 800. So we're going to be seeing it shoot up to about 55235, and that's about what, 30, 40 pips, 30 pips. So NZDCHF is bullish. We're going to see bullishness. NZDCHF. Now let's go to NZDJPY. This one has been testing. I got to delete these ones. Don't need that. Don't need that. Disrespect it. Disrespect it. Look, it's probably continuing that respect right now. We're going to see it do something. Right, so it's hitting the line. It's hitting a trend line as we speak. Doesn't mean it has to respect it all the way. But this is not even accurate all the way either. Up there, hitting that the resistance zone and support. So this might just be a telltale sign that this is actually going to continue, because this is a Asian session pair. You got NZD and JPY all happening right now. So ultimately, and I think it's going to shoot up to this high right here. Go to the daily. Continuation, 100%. Yeah, that's not going to reverse anytime. So we're seeing NZDJPY shoot up, and the first place it's going to go is this recent high. I don't know if there's any previous zones over here. This might be at an all-time high right now. Oh, okay, here we go. So it's going up to retest these zones right now. Here's a significant zone right there. Hit, multiple hits, hit right there, zone right there, hit, right? So it's clearly the projected area, meaning we have an additional 116 pip move on NZDJPY, so that's bullish. We're going to be bullish on NZDJPY. NJ. Okay. We got NZDUSD. From it, that one looks good overall, but it's hitting resistance. Looks like it broke through and it's going to go up too. I mean, stuff keeps playing out perfectly. NZDXD. Yeah, it's going to go up and retouch this line. It has to do is it's a crisscross, right? So you got, let me go this, Control Q, C, V. What the hell? Did that just not give me the exact line that I wanted? That was weird. I'm gonna do a parallel here. There, right? Lines up directly with the 800 EMA and the resistance, so that we're bullish tonight. And then once it hits the zone, we might see a reversal. It's very possible it's going to shoot up and then down. But at the very moment of this recording at 8:35 Central Standard Time, which is 9:35 p.m., we are bullish. All right, so we are bullish. If it hits a high, expect a pullback because it's breaking structure. But that is the game we're playing right now. And on top of it, is it hidden divergence right now? Yes, price is going down here and going up there. So this is hidden divergence, which is all telltale signs of a continuation. Where to? Recent structure. On the 1 hour, let's take a look. Gonna go to that 800 EMA. Wait, is this the 800 EMA? Oh wait, I was on the wrong time frame here. Yeah, most likely the 800 EMA, which is only like 10 pips, but that's not too shabby. And we're going to do that as the take profit point. Could shoot up a little higher. Taking the trades right now, actually. So we got recent structure right here at 5.5. Oh yeah, that's going there. Perfect. Okay. And I took a trade on it. I'm in multiple trades right now. Okay. So we got GBPAUD. I was in a trade from last week on this. I'm still in the sell, actually. I went over this in the free group. So we'll go over to GBPAUD. And I'll show you the reason why I took it. It was matching up with overall direction down on the 1 hour. I believe it was hitting the EMA. Yeah. So it came up, hit a supply and demand zone, hit resistance, hit the 61.8. It's not, we got hit divergence from this peak down, even from here, right? From here over. A little bit different, but this one for sure is hidden divergence. It shot up a little bit higher than expected, but look at that wick. So this is just retesting it. I have it going down to recent structure, I believe. Let me see. I have it going down to the EMA, so I should put it down to here actually, just to be safe. but always take it to guaranteed structure. So I'm still in a sell on this. I think it needs to shoot down towards this 200 EMA, which is the 50 EMA on the 4-hour, and we'll start to see a potential move happen. Because right now, if you notice this, look at this peak, look at this one. Currently, this is lower on the RSI than, and this is this is higher on the RSI, and this is lower on the RSI. So this shoots down, which I do believe we will see. This will be hidden divergence for a continued move up. That will overall continue the uptrend that we are seeing. It's either going to be a bigger reverse. So it's either going to hit this up. The hell's going on? It's either going to hit this RSI or the 50 EMA and go up, or it's going to hit it, consolidate on it, and drop. But I do know that this is the zone it needs to go to. So we're bearish right now in GBPAUD. GA is bearish. Okay. Let's see. Okay. GN. This one's bearish too. I have this in for a trade too. I did this a little bit analysis before I got in, but I have it dropping to recent low. Quick in and out trade. Nothing too crazy, but it is riding that 50. This is gonna drop a little bit farther down on the 4-hour. This is the 1-hour. Hit the resistance, hitting what was once support, now resistance. Delete that. And then, yeah, it's going to shoot down either to this recent low or a little bit lower. I want to say a little bit lower, but I don't want to be too presumptuous here because that would be a massive push down, and we have this trend line that's being hit. So let's take a look. Let me actually do this. Make it a little easier. So we'll go from here. Copy, paste. And then we'll go based off of that trend line, right? So it's got a zone here that is going to respect it, and it's right, look at that, right in the middle of this support zone. So I have it dropping to recent structure, which is perfect. It's tanking right now, currently in the trade up. It is good. It's good to go, man. I think this is going to be a fun week. I mean, and this is only Sunday, but continuations all the way. So now let's go to AUDNZD. I'm only going to do these three right here because everything else is kind of moving ridiculously. EURUSD, just go over the peaks. Is AUDNZD on there? Oh, I already have it up. I'll just do it. Fuck it. Let's see. This one finally broke out of the trend line, and it is continuing this massive move down. And just a couple weeks ago, we had this thing tanking right as it broke that structure. It had to change a character here, pull back, and then continue that move. That ended up playing out real nice. The only thing I'm concerned about is the CMAs here. So it could go up, it could go down. RSI is pointing downwards right now, so we could see a little bit of a drop. The daily, we did have a bullish bear candle drop, and so it's pointing in the right direction. And it had recent structure hit last week too, right? So you have this as a structure point, this is a structure point, and then the price came up, tapped it, tanked. I think that's why we had it for a sell last week too. At least I did. Panned out perfectly. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're still bearish on AUDNZD. It's just there's nothing here for a setup at the moment. Well, actually, there is just hidden divergence here. So this one looks good for continuation down as well. So I'm going to say AUDNZD is also a continued move down. We can see this thing pull back or push down towards recent structure. The only thing is, the question that's on the table is it going to pull up a little bit, hit that 50 EMA, and then drop? Right? Because then this would give us hidden divergence on the 1 hour, or is it already made its move and this thing's going to drop? See, now we're hitting a 4-hour 800 EMA. So I don't think it might, I don't know if it's going to drop all the way down right now. So this isn't a good zone for it to be an entry. I think it needs to pull up a little bit. Then we'll say it's a then we'll say it's bearish, or at least get in on a sell then. But EMAs are tight. You got to keep it. You got to keep it conservative. Don't try to go all out with it because you could get fucked. Now let's go to Euro GBP. Do Euro GBP. This one I hope is bullish. It's got a bearish thing, but we'll see. It's still respecting the trend lines here. So that's cool. Yeah, I don't think it says it's bearish just based off of about 1, 2, 3 off that peak here, but that doesn't prove anything. This is a mainly bullish consolidation move up. I got nothing on the daily telling me this is a drop. I mean, I do have yeah, there is hidden divergence here, and that's why we had it for a sell last week. So if anything, if this is going to be a continued drop, we need to see it push up first and then drop. After that, it could be tomorrow, it could be later. Mainly, it already hit that 50 EMA, right? So we had that for a sell last week. Here's the peak, wick to wick, drop, wicked right off of the 61.8. Perfect sell condition. Took that for a sell last week. It was great. And it came down, hit recent structure. So now we're starting to see whether or not this thing's going to be a continuation. I don't need this anymore. Now we just need to know whether it's going to continue down or is it going to drop. And I see some divergence happening as we speak. I see wrong thing. We got divergence on starting here. So this is being the requirements. This is why it dropped. Yeah, if we're going to see this thing drop, it needs to just be a stop hunt high first, and then we'll see. Most likely going to be off of this 50. I mean, look, we already got hidden divergence right here. Right, so we just fractalize these moves. We're going down, down. Look at that 51. The 61.8 lines up directly with the 50, and also with recent structure points. So it might hit that 50. What it might hit the 61.8. I'd say this overall zone is considered a popular area. So if it shoots up, hits that, we could see it drop down. Because right now I got 1, 2, 3. Blind them in. Shark, yeah, I don't have a shark fin yet, so that's not there. But we have support, resistance, zone. Let me go to the 15-minute. We might have some clear areas. Oh, okay. So here you go. You got a resistant zone here that gives us clear an extra confirmation that this is going to be more of a sell. It's like mainly where pivot points happen. Might not just go right to it and decide to drop. It might consolidate for a minute, just like it did every other time in previous history. But at the moment, it is a respected spot that has happened over and over again to be a solid point of reference. So I'm going to say we're going to be pushing up on this tonight. And then let's just be patient. I don't want to take the trade too soon, but my mind is saying stop hunt high, drop, just because of what we are seeing on the daily. I like the daily. I like what it's presented to me. So we'll see. I'm not going to write it down just because it's hitting that 500 EMA on the 1 hour. It's hitting the 500 EMA on the daily. Like, yeah, too confusing. I'm going to relax with this one. And then I'm going to do one more. Euro Chief. Okay. Euro Chief. Euro CHF. Why is... Oh, there it is. This is not a solid line. That is a solid line. I don't really like it. All the EMAs are tight, man. Every single one of them. Hidden divergence there. Could have took it sell down last week and would have made some money. But nothing yet. So I'm going to hold off on Euro Chief. So I'm going to end it here. I think we're good for tonight. I'm in trades right now. We'll see how they pan out. And then on top of that, it's only Sunday. So we got plenty of time. For those of you that are not trading, that are watching this, happy 4th of July. And if you don't trade this week, I guess we'll see you next week. So everyone have a great night, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday, because this is for the free chat. So peace out.